Oh, hello there, Site 42 staff as well as those of you from the greater SCP community. And welcome to another Dr. Sherman's Office Hours, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site 42, as we have done for 6 months and a daily streak and counting. Once a day, from 30 minutes to 3 hours, I will open my office door to you, the SCP Foundation staff, so I can answer your burning questions, sometimes literally, depending on how your questions are burning mimetically through your mind, or literal airborne questions that are on fire. We gotta dodge those, be very careful. Either way, you have questions about the anomalies, the staff, the groups of interest, or hypothetical containment procedures about anomalies that are outside of the Foundation's purview, perhaps a different multiverse or pataphysical narrative level, i.e. fandom, I'm here to answer them for the next 3 hours as we enter Dr. Sherman's Office Hours in space! Because yes, today, I have decided that the subject is anomalies in space! There's a mimetic hazard going through the site right now where you cannot say the words in space in any way except that, so I apologize in advance. We are stuck with it. But a little housekeeping before we begin. Junior researcher Sally, congratulations on being the literal most punctual chatter. In fact, for I believe the 3rd or more day running, congratulations on being first. Meanwhile, alongside you, Amber, Jace, Vinny, AA Blackwood, Orange Cloud, Chesta Factory, Silent Follower, Scarlet, Terragol, Alki, Puppet Boy, Billy the Go-Goat, Researcher Voidell, everyone to whomst I have just named, a merry welcome to stream and thank you for being punctual. As well, thank you for being members of the channel. We appreciate your membership and your service in the battle against the white names in space. Meanwhile, the moon, very apt of you to be here today since we're going in space, as well as Burnt Pie, Avari, Dark Shadow, Trey, and Hazard. Welcome to today's stream. Thank you for being punctual, and thank you for being here just for being you today. So, now that we are here, I've got the chat updated. I've got all systems go. So, let's talk about anomalies in space. Because, oh my, there's a lot of anomalies in space. Now, my favorite of the astronomical anomalies, we can say astronomical anomalies. My favorite of these is a little cheatery, and I am going to be cheatery about this. Because if you go to my personal SCP tale, Ignorance is Bliss, well, that tale takes place, oh wow, plus 98 on the wiki, Ignorance is Bliss is. Huh. Have anyone in this chat not read Ignorance is Bliss? And if not, have you not voted on it? Because we could be at plus 100 very soon if people were to read it and enjoy it. Make sure you vote ethically. Do not vote just because you like Site 42 as a channel. You have to enjoy the story. Be honest with your votes, people. No cheating. That being said, for enjoyers of Ignorance is Bliss, you can go to the bottom of that and go to forward. Is it forward? No, it's back 2 stories. Or did that story never get posted? Oh my lord, that story I'm thinking of never got posted. Oh! Okay. Well then the one I'm thinking about isn't the one I'm thinking about. But SCP-3426, codename Reckoner, is a prequel to Ignorance is Bliss. And it is an anomaly in space! Therefore, just by default of being part and parcel of an anomaly tale that I wrote, SCP-3426 is my favorite anomaly in space! But of course, that would be cheating And so, as much as I like cheating, and as much as I'm going to tell you to read SCP-3426 and its sequel tale, and its sequel tale, which is Ignorance is Bliss, which is my sequel tale, well, there's also another space anomaly, one that has been already shouted out in the chat for being one of our favorite anomalies that are in space. And it is SCP-5909, the Lightyear Shrimp. SCP-5909, I see you in the chat. I see you, Billy the Go-Go. You were rooting for it the whole time. I see you there. Oh no. Oh no, Junior Researcher Sally. Oh, you're starting a war of the anomalies in space. But okay, see, we're going to be talking about a lot of space anomalies today, interjecting the donos, because there are a lot of anomalies in space. So, first and foremost, SCP-5909, codename the Endless Shrimp. SCP-5909 is a crustacean measuring an estimated 2.1 light years in length, located 7.5 light years from the Sol system. It is a 2.1 light year long shrimp in space. And so, the worst thing about it is that one day it started moving toward Earth. SCP-5909, the 2.1 light year long shrimp, started moving toward Earth. And the Foundation's like, all right, well, that's really, 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 really big. How can we stop something like that? We can't really stop something like that. There is nothing we can do. Let's see. As we did try to neutralize it. And when it got to a certain distance, it turned sideways and revealed that it had a billboard with www.bigshrimp-endlesstaste.com. And it was a Red Lobster advertising billboard for endless shrimp in space. So that was a lot. That was a lot. We have not been able to get any proper intel on why that happened, but it happened. Now, along with it, and I promise I'm getting to the donos after this anomaly in space, because Junior Researcher Sally did remind me of a fantastic anomaly in space. And that is it SCP-2086? SCP-2686. SCP-2686 is codename the Moon Wizard. And the Moon Wizard is, as the name suggests, a wizard what lives on the moon. In space! And so, it turns out that we had an interview with the Moon Wizard, the Moon Wizard who lives on the moon. And it is named the Great Wizard Nyperius, Lord of the Moon and Stars Above. And we asked how it got on the moon. And it said it teleported to the moon because it got its power from the moon above. The Moon Wizard gets its power from the moon above. So it figured if it teleported to the moon, it would become even more powerful due to its proximity to said moon. And the problem is, the Moon Wizard specifically got its power from the moon above. But when it moved to the moon, it realized it had lost all its powers because the moon was no longer above. The moon was below. And so now, the Moon Wizard is powerless. living on the moon. And the Foundation just kind of keeps track of it. In space! So yes, that is our intro to astronomical anomalies of the day. We will continue. Please read Moon Wizard. If nothing else, please read SCP-2686 or listen to it here on the Site42 channel because we have a reading. Moon Wizard. It is dry British comedy at its best. For those of you in the Containment Hazard Assessment team asking, Desk is currently being waylaid and is unable to enter the chat at the moment. Desk entered a doorway at an awkward angle and got stuck diagonally. And so we are waiting for security staff to unwedge the desk. Then Desk will join us. Now, checking on the chat real quick. Let's see. I see. Who were you? Where were you? Gumakad, welcome to Site42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Dr. Evil Greasy John. I hate to be pedantic here. Actually, that's a complete lie. I love being pedantic here. It's one of my favorite things. The sun launcher is not an anomaly in space. It is, in fact, very earthbound. Now, we can use it to send anomalies in space, but the sun launcher itself is quite on Earth. Therefore, it does not qualify as an anomaly in space. Cool Man Fight. Thank you for your first donation of today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself some Dippin' Dots on your way past the commissary, you know, because it's astronaut ice cream. It's ice cream in space. The Chaos Insurgency was looking for Plan 42 cookies for spooky season, but they stole the wrong Plan 42 for that. Why do you have so many Plan 42s? You should number them different plans. That way we don't get confused about them either. What's that word mean? Silent follower, which word are you questioning? What if the Moon Wizard did a handstand? If it did, the moon would be above it again. Researcher Bidoof, I do believe you are correct about that. However, the Moon Wizard is a frail old man, probably not great at handstands. And if we, the Foundation, were to hold the Moon Wizard by its ankles, that way it were upside down, that would probably grant it some sort of insurmountable power that we would then have to deal with containing. So it's just easier to do things as they are. Retro, thank you for your 1-month member message as a level 1 researcher here at Site42. We appreciate your membership and your service, especially the plans you are helping to research so we can win the battle against the white names in space. Gee, I hope SCP-682 doesn't escape when I clock in. Well, don't we all? Don't we all hope that we are not losing the dice roll for an SCP-682 breach during our shift? But that's all of us. I was just listening to a reading of SCP-3426 on Spotify. I'm only halfway through it, though, so I'm going to finish it after the stream. It takes place on a whole nother planet. You are correct. It does, in fact, take place in space! Now, Silent Follower, you say you can't spell the word that I said, so I'm guessing you meant the word pedantic. Pedantic is the $2 word that I used a minute ago. And pedantic, spelled P-E-D-A-N-T-I-C, pedantic, is, well, definitionally it's annoying because of or like a pedant. Thanks, dictionary definition, for not helping me at all. A person who is excessively concerned with minor details or rules, or with displaying academic learning. Being pedantic is being very, very nitpicky, very rules lawyerish, very nitpicky about your spellings, as I very often am, or making sure you say the right thing, otherwise I'm going to make fun of you for being wrong. Because we're in a comic book fandom. Do you not watch the game show Actually? Nerds love being correct about things. And even more than that, we love correcting people. Iffy, if you see this and you want to bring me on to an Actually episode of regarding the SCP Foundation, I'm there for it. Are there any sites in space? Well, Dr. Evil Greasy John, there are in fact many SCP Foundation sites in space depending on your canon. Of course, one of the most famous space sites is not even the Foundation's. The Global Occult Coalition has a base in space. I'm trying to remember what planet exactly it is on. Let's see. I gotta check over here. Search. Here. Search. Space. The Global Occult Coalition has a space program and a secret base on Pluto where they store things that they can't kill and consider too dangerous to let be loose. So the Global Occult Coalition has a Pluto base, in case you are unfamiliar with that. Coming back to chat, research complete. Orange Cloud, thank you for your first donation of today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself one of those applesauce pouches that they have in space at the commissary. I looked up SCP space stations and found 5 space-related SCPs. 2117, 2222, 2474, 4014, and 5761. Have fun and secure, contain, protect. That is a good deal of space anomalies. We are continuing the space anomaly list strongly. But before I continue on those donos, I saw a Ko-Fi notification in. Let me make sure I don't fix that. Chesta Factory, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member, and thank you for making the effort to do it through the Ko-Fi, which has slightly lower fees than the YouTube Super Chat, so we appreciate you making the effort. Make sure to grab yourself basically a Capri Sun, but a Capri Sun like the one the astronauts have in space on your way past the commissary. Space. Want to go to space? Yes, please. Space. Go to space. Signed, the Space Corp from Portal. Also, I like SCP-2001. SCP-2001, you say. Codename, a Space Oddity. Cool. More anomalies in space. Our space anomaly list is growing. How does the moon wizard breathe in space if it lost its magic powers? Well, Bidoof, it lost some powers, but not all of them, clearly. Otherwise, it would be dead. This is just logic. Cool Man Fight, thank you for donating again. The 2.1 light year shrimp is a light shack for me. A light shack is a little old place where Cool Man Fight hangs out, I guess. It's a light shack baby, in space. So, some of you might remember that a couple of days ago, we switched from using Kevin MacLeod royalty-free music to supporting SCP author Billith's music project, Slowgramming. And the Slowgramming is an experimental combination of trance hop and lo-fi hip-hop and different electronic genres. Slowgramming music is very trippy and interesting. And apparently, this one is talking to us. It's called, the playlist that we're using for today's stream is called Middle Distance by Slowgramming on Spotify. Billith created it specifically for us to stream with. We were having trouble with the music being different volumes and being too quiet. So Billith assembled a nice playlist for the stream community so that we could utilize it, that it would be a level volume the whole time. But apparently, it also talks to us. That was shocking. The song is called Private Caller by Slowgramming. If you want to have a nice answering machine message from an anomaly randomly surprise you in song. Sheesh. Anna and friends, thank you for your 4-month member message as a Mobile Task Force Captain here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service, especially the combat training that you are giving to agents so we can win the battle against the White Names in space. Cool Man Fight, thank you for donating again. I got Plan 69. Nice. Destroy all space spiders and snakes. Amazing. Amazing plan. Do that. Do that. Husam, thank you for your first donation of today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a bag of potato chips, but be careful to open it very carefully in anti-gravity so that the chips don't go into the computer console and shut down your spaceship in space on your way past the commissary. What if Kirby absorbed SCP-096? So Kirby usually inherits a power from the anomaly. I'm assuming that Kirby would end up with... Well, here's the problem. Kirby would end up with 096's face on it, which means that everybody who sees it has now seen 096's face. Now, while inside Kirby, Kirby would have enhanced strength and durability and speed for standard attacks, and also would have a sense of where anyone who has seen the face is. But I don't think Kirby would go full 096 rage mode, because Kirby is already of a type of personality like that. However, if 096 were kicked out of Kirby instead of fully swallowed, then 096 would go attack everybody who saw its face when its face was being worn by Kirby. Does that track? I think that tracks hypothetically. Joka Tres, welcome to your, thank you for your first month member message as a level 1 researcher here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service, especially the research you're doing to help us win the battle against the White Names in space. And you said, hello. Well, hello. Not sure if you read this last stream, but my skin is currently green from eating Maltesers from Site 22's cafeteria. Please send help. Why would a Malteser turn your skin green? Oh, spooky season. Okay, you're fine. You're fine. It's just for spooky season treats. Spooky season green skin treats. Don't worry, it'll wear off. I mean, depending on your biological system, it might take between a couple of days to a couple of weeks. So apologies. It's not easy being green. Unless you're a green name here in the chat, then it's easy as hell, because being a green name means that you're a member of the channel. You get dope badges and emojis and things like that. And so life is easy street for green. Meanwhile, white names in chat, you need to get on their level. You need to get the level up to green namership. That way you get the emojis. That way you get the benefits of being on the right side of the battle against the white names in space. Halloween is my birthday. I can't wait until the site Halloween party. Halloween birthday. You know, that's the right birthday to have a holiday on. People whose birthdays are on or around Christmas get a short shrift because they're not getting presents because they're getting like half the presents. Because people say, oh, this is Christmas and your birthday. Rude. Halloween, you just get extra partying. That's dope. That's what winners have. That way one day you will get the Moon Wizard emoji. Junior Researcher Sally, are we doing a Moon Wizard emoji? Because I love that. I feel like you have the Moon Wizard going, with his hands in the air, all powerful, but then the moon behind it, like an outline or something. I don't know. You might already be working on this. I have to look at the spreadsheet. Have you ever helped authors through the green light process, and who was the last person you helped? Polari, I have not done that, unfortunately. Due to the prominence of the Site42, YouTube, TikTok platforms, and millions of people asking questions every day, I do not have the time anymore to critique or greenlight. So it's a kind of thing where if I did that for one person, to be fair, I'd have to do it for more people, and then I'd get nothing done, unfortunately. So while I will critique a very rare article for a friend of mine in the community, I cannot accept critique requests at this time. Are there any SCPs involved in Halloween? Well, intern socks. There is... It's almost Halloween. Nope, not that one. Where is it? Nope, not that, not that. There we go. On a tale called The Log of Anomalous Dates. The Log of Anomalous Dates is a document of anomalous events that repeatedly occur on a given date. So, monthly, on the 12th of the month, wherever Dr. Barringston is located, on the 12th of the month, Dr. Barringston will trip on a banana peel. That's just an anomalous event that happens the 12th of every month somehow. Yearly, somewhen in July, in Dr. Callister's bedroom, a skeleton will appear in Dr. Callister's bedroom closet at night and scream, "It's almost Halloween!" before disappearing. Now, somewhen in August, in Dr. Callister's car, a skeleton will appear in Dr. Callister's car while he's driving home from work and will scream, "It's almost Halloween!" before disappearing. Then, somewhen in September, in Dr. Callister's desk, a skeleton will appear in a desk drawer and scare him. It will scream, "It's almost Halloween!" when Dr. Callister opens the door, the drawer of the desk, and then it will disappear. Then, on Halloween, the following events will take place. A Halloween party will take place. Multiple civilian locations multiple civilians located within close proximity to a Foundation facility will encounter various anomalous events. You know, it's Halloween, it's spooky. The word spooky will be uttered by Foundation staff. Oh. An otherwise not scary SCP will suddenly shift to somehow scare everyone on the site or area. And a skeleton will appear and scare Dr. Callister, shouting, "It's Halloween!" Now, you would think that this is done. But yearly, somewhen in November, currently located in Site 77's psychiatrist office, halfway through the duration of a therapy session, a skeleton will reveal itself to have been disguised as a psychiatrist and scream, "It's almost Christmas!" which will invariably scare Dr. Callister. Fucking rude-ass skeleton. So, A.A. Blackwood, it seems like this is not SCP Spooky-J. And the reason I believe it to not be SCP Spooky-J is that this skeleton is not said to be wearing a robe. This skeleton seems to bother Dr. Callister very specifically, where if you'll notice, SCP Spooky-J is known to bother the entire site of its choosing of annoyance. With really, really annoying and mess-making pranks. So I believe they might be related, but they are not the same anomaly. So yes, there are also other logs of anomalous dates in the log of anomalous dates, if you want to read those as well. I only picked out the ones that were relevant to us, which is It's Almost Halloween. But also, SCP Spooky-J is one of my favorite SCPs, and you can enjoy that. See, the funny thing about Spooky-J is it does pranks for all sorts of holidays. Dr. Sherman, the likes are higher than the viewers. Well, you are correct, Avari. Thank you for the intel. Yes, we are here in a world where you, Mobile Task Force Psi-42, codename the Signal Boosters, have pressed that like button enough to make the likes higher than the view count, which means YouTube's algorithm is going to play games with us. And it is going to boost us through the algorithm and bring us more newbies to transform into SCP Foundation fans, one way or another. And so I thank you for your help in boosting the algorithm so we can bring more people into the fold to help us support the SCP Wiki and its authors, artists, and other community artistic creators. Thank you for your service. And S. Canor, welcome to Site-42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. All right, let's look into some more anomalies in space. So SCP-2117, as said by Orange Cloud, is an irregularly shaped space station of unknown origin, currently orbiting Titan, the largest moon of the planet Saturn. So we got a space station in space! Since when do we have combat zeppelins? Combat zeppelins. In space! Hilarious. You also gifted us SCP-2222. The Mexed Mernanschordbtum Vordhosbn V7. Yeah, the pronunciation for that was never going to happen. SCP-2222 is an airlock composed of 2 opaque hermetic plug cores and a cylindrical chamber within blankety-blankety space station, designated Orbital Unit 9. Okay, so we have a space station airlock in space. And it seems to have a lot of exploration logs. So if you're an exploration log fan, they seem to be having quite the adventure. In space! Beyond that, we have 2474. Codename Irninimons. So it's a complex artificial structure located on the summit of Irninimons, a shield volcano on the Ishtar Terra continent of Venus, in the appearance of an ornate geometrical pattern. So it is a structure on a mountain on a planet in space. And I tell you what, the anomalies in space are always so complicated. People who like space anomalies also like writing long SCPs. That's what I am recognizing here. And then you listed 4014. Elysium, which is an American space station Skylab launched in 1973 by NASA, is host to a variety of anomalous activity with no apparent source. The anomalous activity serves as the onset for a phase event, in which 4014 will disappear from orbit around the Earth, and will last for several days to weeks. All right, so we have random disappearing space station. Great. Makes it so easy to contain. And then finally, for Orange Cloud, you said 5761. Please let 5761 be what I think it is. Please let it be what I think it is. Yes. Yes. Oh, you chose wisely. SCP-5761 is the sequel to the Among Us SCP. SCP-5167 is the Among Us SCP. And now that anomaly is not in space, because that is a Greek god playing Among Us, which, to be fair, is a game that is set in space. But 5167, the Among Us SCP, is not technically in space. Now, before I continue on, Avari, 5167 is an anomaly that is hiding inside the game Among Us. So it's not technically Among Us as an SCP. It's not, oh, they made the imposter an SCP. That's what a lot of people thought, because when this went viral, people didn't fucking read it. And so they're like, oh, they made an Among Us SCP. SCP is bad now because they're doing bad memes. But if you read it, it is a good anomaly by an excellent SCP author, Tanhony. It's short and sweet, and it's about a god losing relevance and trying to gain it back by jumping on a meme. That's honestly, I can see that happening in our world. But after everyone got mad at the Among Us SCP, Tanhony doubled down. Now, in the sequel, we discover that the artificial intelligence that we were using to play Among Us until it found the Greek god who was playing Among Us, it got so mad at us that we made it play so much Among Us that it took over a space station and tried to destroy the Earth. And the only way to beat it was for us to team up with the Greek god and the head researcher from the original article and beat the artificial intelligence in Among Us. It's like War Games, the Matthew Broderick movie, but so much dumber. And I say that with love because the article is, again, it's Tanhony, really well written. It's a good story. It's just also so dumb. It's so good at the same time. And yes, we did defeat the Among Us artificial intelligence space station and save the world. And so while the Among Us SCP is not actually in space, its sequel is in space. So, 5167, if you want to read the Among Us SCP, so to speak, and 5761, if you want to read the sequel to the Among Us SCP. Orange Cloud, thank you for bringing this brain rot to our stream. It was necessary. If you didn't bring it up, I was going to bring it up too. Silent Follower, thank you for seeing nothing. Thank you for donating twice for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a pouch of stew from the astronaut rations, from the commissary. That way you can eat while you are in space. In space with Markiplier mentioned. Did someone mention that? I certainly didn't yet, but I am a fan, so hooray. One day, Site-42, Containment Breach with Markiplier. The live-action choose-your-own-adventure Containment Breach simulator. With Markiplier, if we can get him. Hello, Internet. Welcome to Game Theory. Yes, since growing the goatee, I've been getting a lot less of the you look like Matt Pat allegations. Although I still get you sound like Matt Pat from time to time. So, other anomalies in space for us to keep tabs on. Other anomalies in space. Give me 1 second because I need to look up SCP Big Bird. SCP-4481, codename, a casualty of the single worst astronautical disaster in history. So, SCP-4481 refers to a piece of extra-universal wreckage which was discovered off of the coast of Florida in February of 1986. SCP-4481 consists of a craft superficially resembling a NASA space shuttle, including the cockpit, one surviving engine, and the dorsal side of the fuselage. A large part of the ventral side is missing, apparently sheared away in a circular pattern at the molecular level. 4481 differs from a NASA shuttle in that it has a solid black coloration, a much larger cockpit, and the image of the American flag on the right tail fin bears only 41 stars. Now, there's several items of note inside this spaceship, including packets of dehydrated banana slices that appear to have been made using largely extinct Gros Michel cultivar, a rhesus macaque fused to the inside of its cage, speculated to have been a test animal. Several puppets resembling characters from the American children's program Sesame Street. Most are too waterlogged and damaged to identify, but some characters, such as Kermit the Frog, are recognizable. What appears to be part of a passport for a citizen of the Soviet Union, dated 1985, name illegible. SCP-4481-A was the sole surviving crew member aboard SCP-4481. SCP-4481-A is a costume resembling the character of Big Bird from Sesame Street, albeit with several discrepancies. The feathers on the costume are white and blue as opposed to solid yellow. The eyes of the costume are heterochromatic and contain small cameras of unknown use. Prior to 1987, the cameras continuously broadcast a signal that was picked up in Boston, Massachusetts. The head of the costume contains advanced motors and hydraulics that are out of place for 1986. The costume is styled to be wearing a suit similar in appearance to a contemporary NASA Ava suit. Emblems present on the suit claim to be part of the Muppets in Space initiative aboard the shuttle Excelsior. The nameplate on the suit reads B. Bird. SCP-4481-A was found in the flooded cockpit of SCP-4481, attempting to drown itself. When SCP-4481-A was alive, it was capable of muffled vocalization, most of which were pleas for death. Interviews conducted during this time provided no gainful information. 4481-A successfully drowned itself before it could be recovered. An autopsy conducted on 4481-A produced the following findings. No solid muscular or skeletal structures were present. Several pieces of soft tissue, believed to be organs, were found in a soup of fluid, mostly blood and sweat, at the lowest points of the thoracic cavity. What is believed to have once been the skull of the individual inside SCP-4481-A was found to have integrated itself into the heart. Cranial and cardiac matter intersected in this manner would have caused severe pain to the subject while they were alive. One bullet, origin unclear. Powder burn found on exterior of costume indicates a recent injury at time of recovery, but no firearm has been discovered near 4481's location of recovery in the intervening years. And a Ziploc bag containing a crayon drawing on 5x8 writing paper depicting 4481-A alongside several figures that resemble characters on Sesame Street. 4481-A is dressed in an astronaut's uniform. The drawing is signed Johnny, age 5. 6 other suits belonging to a crew of 4481 were found in the cockpit alongside 4481-A. These all contained a soup of tissue and organs similar to what was found in -A. In addition, there is evidence of human tissue being integrated into the structure of the suits. Whether or not the crew survived this process in a manner similar to 4481-A is unclear. So, Muppets and anomalies in space! Until they were no longer in space. And not in very good shape. All right, coming back to chat. Dr. Sherman, does the UK have any anomalies? There are a lot of anomalies in the United Kingdom, certainly. What I would search for on the database is I would go to the search function in the top right, and I would just type in UK first, and you get the log of anomalous items, SCP-5002, Dr. Spanko, SCP-2337 was discovered in Sussex, UK. There's a lot of anomalies in the UK, for sure. Guys, anomalies are not just found in the United States of America. There are anomalies all over the planet, and that's why we have branches in all of the countries on Earth. We don't answer to any government. We answer to ourselves, keeping the world of the anomalous contained. Attention, Containment Hazard Assessment Team. From this point on, if you want to know if there's anomalies in an area, go to the search function of the wiki and search the area. Search for Pennsylvania. Search for Colorado. I am not Google. You could do this. Have you ever talked to or heard of Regulus, the creator of SCP Containment Breach? Just asking because me and him live in the same country. I have heard the name Regulus, and I know he has moved on to other games, but I have never communicated with that person, no, because I got into the community far after Containment Breach was in and getting done with production. So, I am past my, past Regulus's time. Dark Duality, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a bag of marshmallows, because those are safe to open up and eat in space on your way past the commissary. How many anomalies in Denmark? Well, there's certainly something rotten there. So if I look up Denmark on the SCP Wiki, there's an item on the log of anomalous items. Of course there is. Part of Rounderhouse's proposal, Memento Mori, drifted through France, Denmark, Scotland, and landed in Spain. 1968 did something to the governing authority of Denmark. 2553 had some effects on banks in Denmark. 4246 had something going on with the Lutheran Church of Denmark. Site 39 is in Denmark, and it's also where SCP-2380 takes place. There's a lot of Denmark in here, yo. You can put Denmark in the search, and it'll keep on going. Hello, what's your favorite SCP, Dr. Sherman? Well, Clover, it is a tradition around these parts that I tell the chat my favorite SCPs at the end of every stream. It's a tradition around these parts. And so that is currently 2 hours from now. We are 1 hour into a 3-hour stream. That said, if you want to cheat, you could also donate and ask me to do it early. Or you could go to yesterday's stream, because I did it at the end of yesterday's stream. It's a tradition, so you can go check them out there. Dr. Sherman, are you guys sure that in Australia ain't anomalous? Well, intern Potates, I am clear that this country of Australia in and of itself is not anomalous, but we can't ignore the meanwhile in Australia meme, which is quite anomalous, SCP-5883. Where I am, I have SCP-3312. Well, Dr. Alex, I am sorry if you have contracted such an incurable and detrimental disease. I do hope that your last hours are not very painful and that we can put you out of your misery soon. What if the SCPs were the friends we made along the way? Director Ethan, you know better than to befriend anomalies. They are prisoners who need to be contained. Ethically, yes, but befriending them is against protocol, because then you won't be willing to do what needs to be done. Come on. I came up with a new SCP idea, an SCP slot machine that makes anyone who close, addicted to gambling. And every time they lose, they get more addicted, but it is rigged, so it is a 0.001% chance to win. So, intern Grow, here is my question for you. So what? What is this Anomalies? Why is it like this? What is the goal of it? Is it part of some greater plan by some person or group? Because what you've got there is a very simple anomaly that could be on the log of anomalous items, but it's not really deep enough to be a full-fledged SCP, at least at that pitch. Now, does it make people so addicted to gambling that they'll, like, sell their skin to get more money to gamble? Does it do gruesome things? Does it take things besides money, and so you could sell your sense of self-worth? Or you could sell your sense, you could gamble away your knowledge of your favorite hobby in order to gamble? These are ways you could make it more anomalous in a way that could create an interesting story. Expand upon it. Expand upon it. Dark Duality, thank you for donating again. I think that thing had a baby. There's a tiny bun in my... Oh, it better not. Oh, we do not need that thing spawning for certain. Avery, I'm not helping out on the suggestions of the Containment Hazard Assessment Team logo because I do not want to stifle you guys' creativity. Just like there is no canon logo. So you guys can make the logo of your choosing. You can make it whatever you feel like it should be. So I am putting it in your hands. That way you have the artistic creative power. What was it like working with the Vulcan to make audio for SCP-049's file? Well, the funny thing is that while Vulcan and I have spoken in the past and collaborated on articles readings before, we actually didn't work together at all for the SCP-049 document lines. That was, like most voice acting is, he lives in the British Isles, I believe Ireland? I'm trying to remember now, is Vulcan Irish? English? Irish? But, either way, yes, I recorded my lines how I thought they should be read, Vulcan recorded his lines how they should be read, and they were spliced together. So we did not communicate or do any personal actor-to-actor there, like a lot of voice acting is done in Hollywood and such. Yes, I knew he was Irish. I knew Vulcan was Irish. Okay, I was right. I needed to look it up. It was going to bother me. Minos Prime, make a Discord server. Well, there already is one, but you got to find it. It's like an Easter egg hunt. The link is somewhere out there, if you can make the journey, if you are intrepid enough to find it. And if you are of 18 or older, because we follow the same rules as the SCP Wiki, so don't go looking for it at all if you aren't of age. Don't break the rules. We like rules here at the Foundation. It's like our whole thing. Dark Duality, thank you for donating again. Thank you. Don't worry, I'll keep it away from you. Well, thanks for that. Researcher King, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. grab yourself a stick of beef jerky. That is safe to eat while you are in space on your way past the commissary. And you sent a delightful mustache, so thank you for your generosity and the sweet stash. A.A. Blackwood, our time check is 2 hours and counting. 2 hours and counting. Affleck, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a... turkey sandwich in a nice safe baggie. That way you can eat it while you're in space on your way past the commissary. Now everyone has died, so until our tears are dried, we'll drink and drink and drink and drink, and then we'll drink some more. Okay. Now everyone has died, so until our tears are dried, we'll drink and drink and drink and drink, and then we'll drink some more. Aye! Yeah, sometimes you gotta honor the dead sorrowfully, mournfully, and then sometimes you have to raise a ruckus and celebrate the life instead. Does the SCP Foundation try to prevent people from joining certain groups of interest? Well, we'd like to. The problem is, how do you really do that? I mean, we can't reveal ourselves to the public. We can do disinformation for signups if they go public in any way. If they hold meetings, we can dissuade people if we can find the information ahead of time. But most of us are just chasing down their situations. Dr. Sherman, how much would I have to donate for you to shave your head? I don't know, man. I really like my hair, and that would put quite the damper on the pink hair dye goal at 2,500 members. So, I'm not going to even make a number for that one, because not going to happen. One thing at a time. We got the pink hair dye goal for 2,500 members, which, if you are keeping track of the daily numbers, we are currently at 1,574 members. So, if we continue up to 2,500, the pink hair dyeing will be completed. And if we get to 5,000 members, that is where we get the cat-made waifu dimension stream. Because y'all wanted me to get a maid dress. Yes, Junior Researcher Sally, and that 5,000 member goal is where we are trying to get to, because it is when YouTube finally unlocks the maximum amount of emotes we can have, so we can have all the custom emotes specifically made by Junior Researcher Sally. Dr. Sherman, are in-laws anomalous? No, they are quite normal. V.W. Austerlitz. It's been quite a while since we've seen that name in these parts. Welcome back. Thank you for your first donation as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a Ramune Cola on your way past the commissary. The little glass ball will keep it from spilling while you're in space. What common mental or normal illnesses are secretly anomalous? Oh, that is a very, very long list. That is a very, very long list. Now, the thing is, if they become normal, then they're not anomalous. Therefore, they're not normal illnesses. But we do have a lot of anomalous illnesses, you should say. If you go into the tags, SCP tag cloud, so illnesses, that would include infectious, I believe. Info hazard indestructible. Oh, we don't have an infectious tag. We have viruses? I'm sure we have viruses. Virus is a tag. Mental is mental a tag. Meta, memory affecting. Memory affecting could be it. I think we have a bacteria tag. Bacteria could be illnesses. Do we have a neurological tag? Neurological tag, so that'll be mental. So yeah, check out the tags and see what illnesses you're looking into. There's a lot of anomalous illnesses, unfortunately. Made Dr. Sherman, I would pay, how many zeros is that, $1 billion for that? Well, Dr. Alex, it doesn't take that much. We only need about 3,500 members. So if you donate that, then that will be enough. Will Tunes, thank you for your first donation of today's stream. Grab yourself some carrots and peanut butter, something very safe to eat while you're in space on your way past the commissary. Hi, Doctor. As a new intern, I'm curious. Which anomaly is the least anomalous? Like 1943, which I've been informed by a cleaner is pretty dang normal. The least anomalous, you say? Well, let me start by seeing what you mean by SCP-1943, because I'm not familiar with that anomaly. Codename No Anomalies Detected. It is a 27-year-old European female level 1 assistant lab tech, formerly employed in a non-anomalous chemistry lab. Does not appear anomalous in any way, is repeatedly tested negative. Remains of an enemy operative. Okay, so a person who is not anomalous, but interacted with anomalies, so at least there's that. But there is SCP normal stop sign. SCP-6383, codename The One True Anomaly, is the only object on Earth that is completely non-anomalous in any way. Everything at least has a little bit of some sort of anomaly to them, and so we have to have a framework of how anomalous is it until it is actually anomalous. It's a subjective system. We've got to make calls here. But SCP-6383 is entirely normal. Completely normal. 0% anomalous. That's crazy. Wouldn't that make it anomalous? Well, that's the conundrum, Dr. Frogman. It's anomalous because it's not anomalous? Bada 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 ba. VW Austerlitz, thank you for donating again. Has there ever been a case where a D-class was innocent of the crimes they were accused of and or sentenced for? If there is, I've never heard of it. We research our D-class very well to make sure their crimes are clearly done, and also that there's not people who would miss them if they disappeared, obviously. Dark Duality, thank you for donating again. Site 26 was destroyed by the Gawk Suckers, Loose Lips, Sinks, Skips. Who told? The Global Occult Coalition, where Site 26 was. I want the name of the leaker. Who was the person who you knew the longest in the SCP community? Well, Polari, when I got into SCP and I started making SCP content, the 3 people who took immediate interest and hung out while I was making my first YouTube videos were SCP author Yossi Posi, who is the author of SCP-8980, 7777, along with a bunch of other anomalies. SCP author Dr. Clef was one of the first requesters of a story for me to read on the channel. And then SCP artist Sunny Clockwork. So I would say those 3 are the first people I was introduced to via social media in the SCP space. VW, thank you for donating again. Is there an infinite IKEA equivalent for other stores, such as Best Buy or Walmart? Well, not to my knowledge. IKEA is the only one that seems to have the infinitude dimension of it, but there are other infinite or liminal spaces, just not shopping stores. Doc, I'm making a song about you. The lyrics are already written. Good luck, Doctor. Good luck, Intern Potates. I'm not sure what a song about me would constitute, but I wish you the best of luck on your artistic endeavor. Oh, Snap Live? Awesome. Well, hello, Darkstar. Welcome to your first stream, I guess. Just a quick primer, since we're in the second hour of today's 3-hour stream. Welcome to the Anomalous broadcast from Site 42. Today is an Office Hours with Dr. Sherman, where I tell you guys about the inner workings of the SCP Foundation, answer your questions about anomalies, staff members, groups of interest, or hypothetical containment procedures about anomalies that fall outside of the Foundation's purview. Perhaps they're from a different fandom or multiverse or pataphysical narrative level. So, yes, we have a 6-month daily streak of going live at least once a day for 30 minutes to 3 hours. So, welcome to stream if you're not familiar. Good to have you all aboard as we talk about the secrets and mysteries of the SCP Foundation. I read SCP-8980. It's huge, but good. Well, No Name, I agree on both counts. It is huge, it is good. Also, big trigger warning about 8980. It is a rough read. Take the content warnings seriously. On top of which, reminder if you are a fan of SCP-8980 that its author, Yossi Posi, celebrated the 1-year anniversary of that article by writing a new tale regarding 8980. It's called Feminine Whales. Whales, W-A-I-L-S, not like whales in the ocean or whales in space. So just to be clear. But yes, Feminine Whales is a sequel to SCP-8980 if you want to check that out. Foxtrot 257, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a hot link on your way past the commissary. Hey Doc, I have the rough draft set up, the SCP parody to the Chemical Workers song. I'm naming it The Intern's Lament, after the original by Rob Angel. Ooh, sounds fun. 2 different SCP, 2 different SCP songs being written at the same time. I love to hear it. Can't wait to actually hear them. Hold on a second. Okay. Good. Clear. VW, thank you for donating again. If everything is somewhat anomalous, then what is something that is very anomalous, but we can't live without or society would regress without it? So, what you're talking about is either an Archon or Ticonderoga class anomaly. An Archon class anomaly, rather than Safe, Euclid, or Keter, Archon anomalies could be contained by the Foundation, but if we did, very bad things would happen, and therefore we do not contain them. Meanwhile, Ticonderoga anomalies cannot be contained at all, but it doesn't matter because if we could, bad things would happen, so we don't bother. And so, for instance, let's see in the tags if we can find an Archon anomaly and what it would entail for us if we manage to contain it. SCP tags. And in the A's should simply be Archon. So, on the SCP database, we currently have 64 Archon class anomalies. Let's just pick a random one. SCP-7117. Not enough is known about SCP-7117 to devise proper containment procedures. Primary containment efforts are to encompass gathering information about its nature, whether containment is possible, practical, or desired. It is the hypothesized stoichokinetic effect impacting the development of human civilizations, relating to an object's capacity to actively or passively alter the probability of events. Its most prominent feature is the oscillation of the primary stellar object inhabited by those affected, alternating between Earth and Mars over periods of roughly 100,000 years. So apparently we've been migrating between Earth and Mars every 100,000 years, something like that. So yes, if you want more information on this, check out the Archon or Ticonderoga anomalies. Slendymon, thank you for your first donation of today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a hot slice of pizza on your way past the commissary. Welp, I got lost. Can you help me? Well, I'm gonna need more information than your loss, so why don't you fill me in? This new Billith music is quite catchy. Thank you, Billith, in your Slowgramming playlist. God, Sunny Clockwork's contribution to the community has to be recognized, especially outside of the fandom. Oh yeah, Sunny's art is fabulous and so prolific. So many pieces Sunny has put out there. It's incredible. Oh, Amber, thank you for the tip. Yes, Site42 staff, you have got the likes to be double the viewer count. Continuing your epic spree of victory, I see. In space! And so, yes, keep on hitting that like button, because the higher that like count goes, the more the YouTube algorithm says, hey, I bet other people would like this too. I bet other people would like the SCP community. I guess if all these people like it, maybe other people will, and then we trap them with the carrot underneath the box with a stick and a string. And that is how we make them SCP fans. Don't ask questions. This is the method we all have been through. You understand it as well as I do. Rochelle, welcome to Site42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. VW, thank you for donating again. What fictional organizations would make the Foundation look like baby poo-poo dog water? So, okay, what organizations, SCP-like organizations, do you think would make the SCP Foundation look inept? Because honestly, we are pretty damn capable. I do not believe that there's a lot out there that could beat us. The Men in Black are pretty solid. They get into scraps, but they save the day at the end of the time. So the Men in Black, mostly competent. The Warehouse 13 group, like the UIU, is horrendously underfunded and staffed, as far as I can tell from the opening season of that show that I've seen. Therefore, they're not going to beat us. Yeah, I'm not sure there's any that make us look that bad. Unless you're talking about some of the LOL Foundation canon, then yeah, we are grossly incompetent with a lot of trouble. Slendymon, thank you for donating again. Was I supposed to take a left or right at Mars? Well, that depends on the time of year and the planetary rotation, does it not? Sometimes it's one and sometimes it's the other. So you should use probably a different navigational sense than just left or right. I would say, Amber, Torchwood and Unit both need a little too much outside help, so I'm not going with them either. VW, thank you for donating again. Warhammer 40k factions. Well, here's the thing. The Warhammer universe is so vast, and it's dealing more with warrior factions. They're not really containment factions, so we're not comparing apples to apples there. Yes, could we lose a fight to a big warrior faction? Sure, because we're not a warrior faction. Incognito Inc. maybe, Junior Researcher Sally. Well, Cognito Inc. was, you know, they got the job done fairly well considering, especially when they were up against the wall with the Illuminati. So, yeah, they're not bad. I think we're a little stronger from them. Rebel Commander, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a Chica Cherry Cola on your way past the commissary. TVA wins. The Time Variance Authority. They are very militant, and they're pretty good at their job. I mean, and they do have the God of Mischief, who is now the God of Stories. That gives them quite an edge. Plus, I mean, they're popping in and out of time and reality at different spots, making it very hard to catch them. They're very similar to the Wanderer's Library in that sense, but instead of extra-dimensional space, it's an extra-temporal space. Also, the Time Watch Authority from Gravity Falls. So, I mean, Time Baby did get kind of punked. So, they're taking a little less than the TVA. Foxtrot 257, thank you for donating again. With anomalous creatures and weird objects galore, the D-Class we keep feeding them until we can't no more. For when we go too far, to go much harder than we should, the bosses in the E-Committee shut us down for good. Ah, it sounds like you've got a little rhythm going on there. I want to be a member, but I don't know how. SK the Squirrel, if you go to our channel page on YouTube, there is a membership button, there is a membership tab. So that is how you would get to the place where you join the memberships. What about the Center from Control, before and after destruction? The organization from Control, I mean, they're not bad in general, but they're a little more lower resourced than we are. The Federal Bureau of Control, again, it's going like the UIU. It's going through like Pentagram for the Department of Defense. So because they're stuck with the bureaucracy of the US government, they're dealing with a lot of problems that we don't have to deal with as a non-governmental organization. So, I mean, they did lose their main base to the Hiss, so not a great look. VW, thank you for donating again. What are some policies and or strategies the Global Occult Coalition, Chaos Insurgency, and Serpentance all agree with the Foundation on? Policies or strategies the GOC, Chaos Insurgency, and Serpent's Hand agree with the Foundation on? Well, I don't believe we've ever teamed up with the CI that I can remember. We have teamed up with the Serpent's Hand and the GOC, but it's usually about world-saving, humanity-saving kind of things. And so when that comes to mind, we all have to put our problems and differences aside. Java Name, thank you for gifting 20 memberships to today's Containment Hazard Assessment team. If you get a gifted membership from Java Name, make sure to thank them for their generosity in staffing against the battle against the white names in space. Make sure you thank Java Name for their generosity if you get one of their gifted memberships. Dark Way, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to get yourself a taco on your way past the commissary. Lobotomy Corp from the PM universe is just evil SCP. Correct. And I feel that they are a bit incompetent, if I'm remembering correctly. Give me 1 second. Stay with Dr. Chair. I need to check on something. All right, we're all good. We're all good. All right, so the thing I was checking on is Lobotomy Corp. They've certainly got a lot of anomalies in containment, which shows them a little bit of competency. Facility mechanics department's characters. All right, I'm finding trouble figuring out the competency of Lobotomy Corp. What do you guys think from your experience with the group? Are they capable or are they a slipshod effort? Oh, it seems like Desk has finally dislodged himself from that doorway. Welcome to stream, Desk. I will wait for competency checks from the chat on Lobotomy Corp before I make a ruling there. Foxtrot, thank you for donating again. This is one of the verses. Glad to hear you approve. Hey, keep up the good work. Do what you gotta do. Make art! Make art! Felix, thank you for your 3-month member message as a Mobile Task Force Captain here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service, especially the combat that you have successfully done to help us win the battle against the White Names. In space! Help, I am stuck in Florida. The Florida men are hunting me down for sport. They have attacked gators. To make it worse, the remaining global occult coalition is after me. Alright, well, I mean, use one of the safe houses I used to lay low for a while and we'll come pick you up. Darkway, thank you for donating again. They are an energy company and the city sucks. But I am hearing they are competent from the chat. So maybe they are comparable. I'd have to look at some footage of their work and see what they're at. Captain Echo 117, thank you for your 4-month member message as a Mobile Task Force Captain here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service, especially your help in winning the battle against the White Names in space. Starts playing All I Want for Christmas to annoy the site. Well, joke's on you. That's a very catchy song and also an excellent swing dancing song, perfect for the holidays. Yo, what would happen if NASA teamed up with the SCP Foundation? Well, it would slow us down because our technology is beyond theirs. I mean, we're much better at getting in space than they are, especially with the underfunding they are right now due to things that the US government is doing. Idiots, the lot of them. Not NASA, the US government. NASA's fine, it's just being fucked over right now. Aren't all their anomalies anime women classical literature characters? Dr. Frogman, are you talking about Lobotomy Corporation? Are there anomalies literature waifus? What are you talking about? I've never heard of that. Why isn't SCP-500 public? Is it because it has a limited supply, or is there another problem? I just got promoted from D class. So my clearance is a bit low, and I was wondering if you'd have the answer. Well, intern the problem is, A, that it's anomalous. And even if we had an unlimited supply, we wouldn't release it to the public because it's anomalous. Furthermore, yes, the limited supply is also a problem. Intern Luffy, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. I don't want to go to the gym tomorrow. It's leg day. I don't want to go. Today was my leg day, and I did it. So you're going to do it, and you're going to like it. Leg day is awesome. Do your leg day. Achieve. Fitness. Foundation Fitness Initiative. Strong legs is how you run from anomalies during a containment breach. Do it! Everyone saying no, don't do it is trying to stifle you so you're slower than them. That way, during the next containment breach, you get eaten instead of them. Don't let them trick you. Do it. Felix, thank you for donating again. They are guarding the border of the forest. Oh, wait, I forgot I have a teleporter. Heading back to the workshop. You guys call my containment. All of this and you had a teleporter active the whole time? I thought it was broken or something. No, yes, that is a lot easier. What are some other good anomalies that are located in space? Well, there's all the, there's of course the astronaut. SCP-1233 is a humanoid entity of unknown composition which visually resembles an individual wearing an emu-type spacesuit with opaque visor and attached extravehicular propulsion jetpack. The equipment worn by 1233 exhibits a number of anomalous properties. The suit itself has shown durability far exceeding that of standard spacesuit. It has withstood small arms fire, anti-tank munitions, landmines, white phosphorus munitions, and once its total submersion... Is this what I'm thinking of? Oh no! No, this is the wrong astronaut. This is the spaceman superhero. SCP-1233 responded, "At last, a brave warrior hiding in plain sight amidst these pastoral and bucolic humans. Let us away, fair meat fellow, and earn the glory of heroes. This day you brush your tooths against the stars. We fly!" Yes, SCP-1233, known as the lunatic. Okay, not the astronaut I was thinking of. Desk, we have discussed the Moon Wizard. You're right about Jupiter Spot. We didn't bring that up yet. Longfish is in the sea, not in space. And then we did talk about the Lightyear shrimp. Which astronaut am I thinking of? Yeah, okay, SCP-1959. Codename The Lost Cosmonaut. There is a spacesuit just floating in orbit around the planet, you know, in space. Subject position can vary between low to high Earth orbit any given moment. 1959 will ram through any obstacle it encounters, causing grave structural damage. While the subject is capable of independent movement, it remains motionless most of the time. On the occasion the subject does move, its body language shows signs of extreme distress, and it will sometimes make attempts to break its visor. There are recorded instances of 1959 where 1959 hovered in place for a certain period of time before moving again. According to observations made to such events, the subject appears to be resisting some unseen force before being pulled away. And so this already is... okay, what the hell's going on there? But then there's a tale that goes deeper into it. So if I go to 1959 in the Tales edition, then the tale I know of is called Ground Control. Although there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tales about SCP-1959. So in Ground Control, there is an entity that is trying to get to Earth with this astronaut. And the astronaut is literally resisting falling to Earth and letting that entity come to us. The ground control tale is dark, Woof. Has anyone stolen a book from the Wanderer's Library, and if so, what happens to people who do? Well, Polari, yes, several times. I mean, we've done it ourselves. We need the knowledge in there, and so sometimes we sneak in and try and steal something. It's not as if the books are locked by anything particularly grabby. You can get in and out if you're careful. Now, certainly, if they find out, they will try to retrieve the artifact. So let's just make sure they don't find out. Intern Sebastian. I always say my favorite SCPs at the end of stream, which is currently at a time check 80 minutes from now. 80 minutes from now to the end of stream. But if you'd like me to tell you early, you can always donate and ask, or you can go to yesterday's stream and look at the end of stream, and there you can see my favorite SCPs. It's tradition around these parts to do it at the end. Shelby, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a cinnamon roll on your way past the commissary. Hello from Oklahoma. Deputy Shelby here. What would happen if everyone knew about SCP-3980? Also, you think we should carry Scranton reality anchors. So first and foremost, 3930, i.e. the source of what we know as pattern screamers. The more people who know about it, the more real they are and the more vast that space exists. That's exactly why we limit the amount of people who know about SCP-3930. So if we didn't, that would be bad. Secondarily, we can't carry Scranton reality anchors. A Scranton reality anchor, in most canons and universes at least, is the size of an MRI machine. Very expensive, very technical, very hard to set up. And it's powered by the body of a dead reality bender, of which there's not a huge supply of. So, whoosh. Dark Duality, thank you for donating again. Hey, you found it. I thought it was Lost Astronaut. Yeah, me too. It took me a minute, but we found it. We found it. Good anomalies that are in space. Oh, what? I thought they had some portable ones that some mobile task force units carried with them. So there are some... Sorry, it just took me a second. I saw something that distracted me for a moment. Yes, in some canons, people make them more accessible, but also that kind of power usually makes stories a little bland or boring. So most authors don't use them in kind of a willy-nilly way. Also, you gotta imagine the mobile ones would be a lot weaker. Is SCP-1471 single? You can't touch a mallow entity. They are incorporeal, intangible. Even if you wanted to fraternize with the anomaly, which is against protocol, that one in particular can't be touched. What is your problem? What is your malfunction? That's just not common sense. That's just dumb. Dumb, dumb. Nah, I'm him. Nah, you're dumb. Really? Come on now. Try harder. And by try harder, I mean stop it. We do not fraternize with the anomalies around here. Hashtag annoyed in asexual. James the Rail Fan, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself some popped corn on your way past the commissary. Hi, Dr. Sherman. I just got home from work. Also, I need the foundation to inspect a model train I just bought as it keeps moving on its own on and off the tracks. Yes, please bring it in and we will investigate that. That does sound anomalous. What about SCP-953? Intern Sebastian. The Kumiho very specifically murders all of the staff members who get too close. So, if you think it's hitting on you, you are dumber than the last person I just yelled at. Stop. Stop being horny for anomalies. It's against protocol. CD, thank you for your first donation of today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a Rice Krispies treat on your way past the commissary. SCP-6424, also don't turn me into an anchor, please. 6424, you say, with no context. A space probe of unknown origin that is dated to be over 4,000 years old. Due to the nature of the discovery, its only functional component of 6424 are its communications dish and a functional data storage model. So it is located terrestrially, therefore it is not currently in space. But it seemingly, at some point, very long time ago, was in space. Part of SCP-6424 is still in space. Good to know. Good to know. Cashin, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself some schnitzel on your way past the commissary. Y'all down bad for the SCPs. It does frustrate me that due to our secretive nature, we can only hire very particular individuals, and among those individuals is a higher rate of monster fuckers and or demon daters. The struggles we go through. Drinking game. Take a shot every time Dr. Sherman says, in space! Well, that sounds like it would be a bad idea for your health. Dark Duality, thank you for donating again. Cockblock Jesus! Jesus! Save us from these monster gooners. Indeed, y'all motherfuckers need Cockblock Jesus, SCP-4477. What SCP that hits in the fields is SCP-1762. Oh yeah, we did a sad SCP day a couple weeks ago, where we all just went through other SCPs besides that are sad or tragic or something like that. Has the Global Coalition ever terminated believed to be anomaly only to realize it wasn't? Well, if they have, that is not in my knowledge base of their operations. I am not familiar with them trying to terminate something only to discover that it was, in fact, non-anomalous. I don't think the spider moon counts. Well, it is, in fact, not a canon SCP, that's true. Although it is a very viral memetic meme here in the Site42 community on YouTube and TikTok. And, you know, the moon is at least in space! So only for us it counts. Dr. Sherman, you should look at SCP-6335. It's in space! Well, that is the only categorization necessary for us to look at an SCP today. So what is SCP-6335? That is not how you look up SCP-6335, Dr. Sherman. Try again. Codename, Cradle. A race of massive interplanetary humanoid entities. Although they possess significant morphological and behavioral differences, all observed instances are exhibiting the following characteristics. A height of over 100,000 kilometers, the ability to teleport, aggression towards any celestial bodies encountered, extreme durability to the point of nigh indestructibility, both damage-wise and aging-wise, biological carbon-based DNA, lack of consciousness or any communication skills, and unknown origin. So there's just a race of Galactuses. I mean, they're not eating planets, but they are aggression towards celestial bodies. They're getting in fights with planets. Interesting. All right, well, I don't want to encounter one of those entities, that's for sure. Is the title of the video because of murder drones? That is not the reason of this thing. The in space predates murder drones by a very long time. I mean, I'm getting it from Muppets in Space! But there's a whole lot of variable versions of that meme, such as, well, Duck Dodgers in the 21st and a half century! Which is not in space, but is close. Sky Jalace, James Ray, and Cat Lover, welcome to Site42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Hi, Dr. Sherman. I'm new to SCP. How does the Foundation deal with SCPs in space? Well, very prominently, a lot of our ground level operations are about disinformation campaigns with the telescopes and research organizations of space to cover up anomalies. That way they are not seen. If someone sees an anomaly in their telescope, we make sure to amnesticize them and delete that data and replace it with dummy data. That way people do not spread the knowledge of the anomalous. So that is what we have to do. We have to listen to conspiracy theory websites all the time because they'll be talking about something they saw, and we have to see if it's a real something they saw or a not real something they saw. So it's a lot of ground level disinformation campaigns because unless we do have the technology to go to space and deal with it, which isn't every universe, all we can do is keep people from knowing about them. Wait, I read something about an O5 satellite in space, but I can't remember where. I think you might be talking about the story where the administrator frickin' regenerates like the Doctor or something. Or is it 051 maybe? Or maybe 051 is the administrator in that story? Where can I find this? Because I can find this story, I do believe that it took place in space. Come back to chat to see if anyone knows what I'm talking about and maybe can help me find this thing. Gosh darn it, this is gonna annoy me. It's either the administrator or 051 or 0513 gets in a fight, in a bar fight, at the end of the universe. And I believe the bar is in space! But I'm not gonna know until I can figure this out. SCP Administrator bar fight. Okay, wait. This person's talking about the story. I found it. I found it. Do-do-do. This is referencing the Black Moon 001 proposal, which conflicts with the administrator in the Ouroboros cycle. In the Black Moon, he's something known as the counterbalance. Now, so is it the Black Moon 001? Tanhony's proposal.
Breakfast burritos just a few hours ago, though, so I'm not sure.
A whole breakfast burrito.
Yeah, well, half of one.
You know, it's like, how long is it going? He's got another hour to come by.
And go to the attached file, and it gets deeper. And go to the attached file, and it goes deeper. And you go to the attached file, and it goes deeper. The solitary conceptual bunker. Visually, it resembles a bar. Bottles of liquor lined up on shelves, ashtrays arranged on the bar top, stools pulled up for the patrons. Booths line the walls where groups can sit for a drink together. The walls are made with fine, intricate brickwork, and the floors are made from the smoothest, most pristine wood. A jukebox in the corner releases songs to drift throughout the space. A man is behind our bar, scrubbing it down with a grim smile on his face. This is the administrator, and he is awaiting a visitor. He lifts a cloth from the bar. The Black Moon enters the bar, and the administrator and the Black Moon get in a bar fight. Okay, I guess it's not space, although the administrator does reset reality, literally saying, "Let there be light." So I guess that's creating the whole universe, and therefore the administrator has thusly created space. Whew. Okay. So if you want to read everything I was looking for there, you're looking for Tanhony's Proposal 2. Tanhony's Proposal 2 goes through several documents before you get to that bar fight, but it's a good bar fight. Isn't SCP-3812 stronger than the administrator? Shremak, you could say that because SCP-3812 transcends every pataphysical level at once, meaning that in the universe above the administrator and that universe, where the SCP Wiki is just a creative website, 3812 could just delete the wiki and that would be that. Or go to the even higher level and delete the wiki from there. But thankfully, the problem with 3812, its Achilles heel, is that it doesn't want to fight. It just wants to be left alone. And it has mental health issues that stop it from being fully effective. The audio got bugged. What were you hearing? What are you all... How? What? What do you mean, phone call? Oh, Jiminy sakes. Okay. Well, that's new. So, were you able to hear me during that session, or was I completely glitched out with something else? How peculiar. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Huh. All right, did you hear anything? Did you hear any legible words in this broadcast? Chat, I missed this entire thing. Something hijacked our audio signal. I need you guys to tell me what you heard. All right, Desk thinks the voice sounded like Agent Goose, but that doesn't make any sense. And how would that have logged through our frickin' broadcast here? How was our signal hacked? What does this mean? Huh. All right, well, all right, let me get in touch with security. Tell them I need a device sweep of our local network. Frickin' stat. Weird. All right, well, we are currently functional, yes? We are audible. Everything's fine now. Yeah, okay, we're in the 130 minutes, which means there's 50 minutes left. So when I go back and I check the stream, I'm going to listen from 120 to 130 and see what I find. From the 2-hour mark to the 2-hour 10 mark. This is troubling, to say the least. Okay. Okay, give me a minute. What could it mean? Yeah, hopefully, Aoki, we didn't get exposed to an anomaly. Or I guess you guys didn't get exposed to an anomaly. Because apparently it didn't come in on my end. People are saying they heard he will be done in an hour. Well, I'll be done in 50 minutes. That's close to an hour. Security. I want a detail outside of the audiophonics lab in 20 minutes. Stay put until I am done with office hours and escort me back to my office. Okay. Oh, shit. Shit. What is... I was supposed to check on Steve as soon as we were done with office hours today. Steve is back to writing again. Just alert the whole goddamn site. It's fine. It's fine. No, back up. Secondary force. Interrogation room B. All right, anything else on the schedule? No, nothing else is happening really. But I'm ending this office hours, and Steve is ending today's session in the interrogation room at the same time. I'm supposed to check on Steve after this. I don't like the current scenario. Oh my God, did something happen to Steve? Junior Researcher Sally, right now I've got cams inside interrogation room B, and Steve is just writing like he's supposed to be. For those of you who are not caught up, a couple weeks to a month ago, there was a large-scale containment breach here at Site 42. Part of that injection point was that Steve, my assistant, had taken over site director duties while I was indisposed, being accused of being anomalous and therefore being tested on for multiple days. Now, after that event, Steve claimed full amnesia of his entire career work at the Foundation, Our Nestics have not been able to jog his memory, which is very stressful in and of itself. But also, it means we don't know what was going through his head before or during the event. Or, perhaps, who was going in or through his head. And so, we have Steve utilizing SCP-067, the artist's pen, to write his entire life story, and it's taking a lot of time. The guy's 30 years old. It's taking time to go through all that. But we're getting up to year 25 today, which means that next time we are writing, we should be able to at least get some influence on what's happened leading up to this containment breach scenario. I don't like this. I don't like this. Something feels wrong. Something feels off. All right. Sitting here spiraling is not going to help this. Let's finish the office hours. David, Faceless, and Lisa, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Dark Duality, thank you for donating again. Meta has a VR SCP thing. Meta has a VR SCP thing? Meta VR SCP. The SCP experience by... Who made it? Meta Horizon Developer Data Use Policy. Matt V Privacy Policy. Single user. Developer Matt V. Twitter Matt V Studios. At least one reviewer is saying the game is doing good with keeping the lore well, so that's nice to hear. It's got some high reviews, some low reviews, as anything does. All right, I'll have to look into that a little more later. Interesting. I hope they're following the Creative Commons like they're supposed to. Kaisel, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself some sauerkraut on your way past the commissary. Can I come out of the cell now? That depends. Have you been cleared? Sid, thank you for your first donation of today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a crepe on your way past the commissary. We're doing a mobile task force outside the audiophonics room and outside where Steve is based. I mean, that would take a long time to summon a mobile task force for this point. We don't actually know what's about to go down. But we have site security here for a reason, so we can at least put them to use. CD, thank you for donating again. Dr. Sherman, on my way back from the Infinite IKEA, I figured out how to warp the door. I suggest we turn on reality anchors and call in more mobile task forces. Well, again, we don't have any reality anchors on the SCP-3008 site, so we would need to move and then assemble them, and that's very expensive, and I don't think that is necessarily necessary. Kaisel, thank you for donating again. All I did was eat an SCP or two, but it's not bad. If you eat an anomaly, it is that bad. SCP-2020 is one of the best space SCPs, huh? All right, I'll check in your taste. I do believe I know that designation. SCP-2020, codename Cliché, right? SCP-2020 is a sapient humanoid entity approximately 2.2 meters or 7'3" in height and 70 kilograms or 150 pounds in mass. SCP-2020 SCP-2020 Possesses unusually long and thin limbs, as well as facial features commonly associated with gray aliens and a bright green coloration. Body is composed primarily of a novel form of natural rubber that appears to serve skeletal, muscular, circulatory, and endocrine functions. Its digestive system and nutritional requirements are consistent with its diet, which consists entirely of paper and water. And then this SCP just sits in a room and pitches ideas for science fiction stories. Well, it's not currently in space, but it is an alien, so I guess it qualifies. I mean, you gotta worry about laser butt disease with this one, though, so be careful there. And if you want to hear a reading of this article, it's here on the channel, so you can check that out. CD, thank you for donating again. I meant for you, Dr. Sherman, not the IKEA. Oh, reality anchors on Site 42 property. All right. Well, let's see. If they're on site, they're currently... do we have any extras that aren't being used? Because we have one... Okay. Containment Wing F, but it's active. I guess worst case scenario, if something went down, we could move to Containment Wing F within range of the SRA. If that's a necessary situation. Maverick the Dragon, thank you for your 1-month member message as a level 1 researcher. We appreciate your membership and your service. Researcher Maverick here, what happened? We had a signal hijacking. All of a sudden, somewhere around the 2-hour mark of the stream, audio was somehow hijacked, and we ended up being broadcast my own visuals, but some sort of other voice. It was kind of worrying. Intern Fan, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Dr. Sherman, you should look at SCP-1958. I believe we already did that one. For anomalies that are in space. That's the Lost Cosmonaut, is it not? Oh no, that's a different one. This is the Magic Bus. Okay. Yes, Desk was talking about this one. The Space Bus. A VW bus in space. And with a bunch of people who died because they were not prepared to live in space. You saw nothing. If a person from another group of interest wants to join the Foundation, what is the process of it, or do they just ignore them? Well, they need to be interrogated. They need to be proven that they are going to be loyal to the Foundation and they're not trying to be a double agent. There's a process, and if I admit too much of it, then it will allow people to bypass the system. So that's all. Aoki SCP-1958 is not, quote, the magic school bus. Although, that thing is an anomaly in and of itself, to be sure. Dr. Sherman, I swear I haven't betrayed the Foundation. I'm double agenting at the Fifth Church. I've got documents if you want them. Well, yes. That would be an important thing to keep tabs of, yes. Informer, congratulations on your gifted membership. And to whomever gave it to you, your gratitude will be out there in the ether. As a time check, by the way, we are 30 minutes until the end of stream. 30 minutes until the end of stream. Intern Walford, if you are having trouble with anomalous cacti such as SCP-3171, or sorry, not cacti, but similar Hydnora plants, they are easily destroyed. They're not necessarily infectious either. And in fact, we're only familiar with 457 known instances. So I don't know how you got them, but just pull them up. It's fine. And don't answer their phone sex questions. That just is a road you don't want to go down. Did we have another, shit. So we're back? What the hell has happened? Ning. I'm getting concerned. Oh, great. Now my browser's refreshing. Come on. Function, damn it. I hate to be cliche, but I've got a bad feeling about this. All right, security's on it. Security's on it. All right, let's go through IT. Please investigate the office hours stream. We have had several interruptions, including a crossed signal. Something must be going on. Yeah, no, even on my heads-up display here, I'm having trouble seeing the stream. This has not happened before. Based on everything going on, I am not low-key concerned, Deirdre, I am quite concerned. If something's trying to knock out Desk, then something is trying to attack the containment hazard assessment team directly. Hey, is everyone having problems with YouTube? Is this happening to other creators? Is there a server issue? Is YouTube down? Users report indicate no current problems at YouTube, although this could not just be updated yet. There is a spike. There's a spike about 10 minutes ago of reports. So it's possible this is a YouTube-wide issue. Which would be a lot less concerning. Which would be a lot less concerning. I just heard dial-up. What the fuck? What? What are you talking about? Dial-up? At the Foundation? What are you guys talking about? Finally, I can see video. You haven't been able to see video for how long? What do you mean, what are we talking about? I'm talking about, what are you talking about? First, you said you heard human voices on the over my audio earlier. Now you're talking about dial-up tones? We are at 22 minutes left of stream. I wonder if we're gonna frickin' make it. SCB intern Afton here, boss. YouTube was fucking me over a small bit ago, just glad it stopped. Maybe it hasn't. I don't know, man. Things have been crazy around stream today. I bet it was that monster Jeff. You take that back, Jeff. Slanderer. Jeff is a technician. If it were Jeff, the stream would be working better, not worse. Right before leg day, I knew it was idea going to the gym tomorrow. It's leg. No, on a day like this, you need to be ready for leg day because we got to be ready to leg it if something actually happens here. Speaking of space, did you know I was born in space? Whole supernova happened, and I started existing. Crazy, right? Interesting. One could say that you were born of a mid-bang. Dial-up noise again. What the hell are you guys talking? It's concerning. What else can I tell security to do? Just in case. I've already got everyone up and prepping. They said in about an hour. That's 19 minutes from now. I feel like all we can do is hunker down and keep our fingers crossed that we're prepared. Why is everything tweaking out? I wish we knew, intern Sebastian. I wish we knew. Screen black again, Dr. Sherman. I don't know if you can see this message because my screen is black, but sending it anyways. And now a different intern Sebastian says that we're blacked out. Raccoon Dog, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a protein bar at the commissary. We gotta act light at this point. Doc, you sure you're really not an anomaly? Well, outside of the whole Schrodinger's anomaly situation I've been trapped in recently, I'm at least fairly sure. I have now lost audio and video. Rip is right. I don't know about you guys, but I feel very similar to how it felt growing up in Florida when there was a hurricane outside. Yes, you're inside, everything's working now, but the question is for how long? How long until the power goes out? How long until the wind knocks something over that destroys the roof or your car, or a power line goes out and it starts a fire? Or the flooding, of course. I don't know, man. I don't feel good right now. Dr. Sherman, Salsasaurus pointing at Earth, and with further tracking is pointing at you, specifically your pen. Care to explain? I have a feeling that you're giving me some pranky jibes right now in a moment of stress. Salsasaur has bigger things on its mind than a pen. Seems like more people are coming in and out of being able to see or hear what's going on here. This is insane. Mine's working fine. YouTube is ending. Okay. How many reports on down detector now? Current YouTube down detector is at 300,000 reports and climbing. So, at least Ah, Space Core. What an appropriate stream for you to be at. The Space Stream. Guys, I think the old AI fucked with YouTube. Yeah, mass mystery. It seems like 079... 079 shouldn't have been able to get through to the YouTube side of things, though. I mean, it screws with our systems from time and again, but we are locked off in a manner it can't get out of. Peculiar. What do you mean there's two Shermans? What the hell do you mean there's two Shermans? I've seen black screens reported. When your black screens are black screening, can you still hear, or is it just completely gone? What do you mean desk is dressed as Dr. Sherman costume? You can't tell the difference between a human being and a literal mahogany desk with a Hawaiian shirt? It's a very convincing costume. Okay, sure. Zerdrin Raccoon Dog, sure. Okay, the sound is gone when the black screen hits. Junior researcher Sally, if Desk had a nat 20 at perception, that would give Desk the ability to see through costumes. Disguising comes at a different stat, I would imagine. We're 8 minutes left on stream, whatever that means. I'm not seeing anything on the security cameras. What about the satellites? I'm not seeing anything out of the ordinary around the perimeter of the site. But what was that conversation about? An hour? What is all this glitching? Something stinks to high heaven. I don't like it. I'm seeing black screens. I'm seeing people who now see the screen. I'm seeing YouTube got a DDoS attack. Intern Sebastian, not the time to ask about a raise, okay? We're busy. Well, there's 4 minutes on the stream left, and so once we, I'll rendezvous with security. I will check in on Steve. Seems like we're gonna have to be active tonight. All right. Well, let's wrap this up then as we end stream, keeping the traditions alive as we always do, despite whatever the hell's going on here. I end stream every day with my favorite SCPs, and I'm not going to tell you that the SCPs I personally wrote are my favorite because that would be cheating. So, if you want to see my SCPs, you can go to the Sherman's author page in Site42 Hub on the SCP Wiki. There you can see the SCPs I wrote or contributed voice lines or audio for. Sorry, this is all distracting. Go to my author page if you want to see that. There are also some links there, one tab over from the SCPs I wrote, and some of you have been asking about those links. Wink, wink. Maybe you want to go look at the links. Maybe there's something good for you there. And while you're there, you can go become a Site42 Patreon patron or a YouTube channel member to donate to us monthly. Do a Ko-Fi donation or a Super Chat if you want to donate to us one at a time. Either way, we appreciate you helping us keep the lights on around here. And if you can't, because you are part of the Broke Gang, then trust me, we're an arts community. We understand the Broke Gang, starving artists, am I right? And so, of course, you can Java name with the last-minute surprise donation during the outro of 50 memberships, pushing us back up in our lost wages on our way to the membership goals. So, Java name, thank you for your generosity in helping us fight the battle against the white names. And if you got a membership from Java name, make sure to thank them for their generosity. But even if you are part of the Broke Gang and you can't donate or become a member, you are still a valued and honorable member of Mobile Task Force Psi-42, codenamed the Signal Boosters. As long as you're liking and sharing and subscribing, commenting, chatting, all that YouTube hullabaloo, if it's working anyways, then you are helping us to grow Site 42 and therefore help us to support the SCP's authors and animators and artists and filmmakers, game devs, animators, merch makers, all sorts of people like that. And we salute your efforts and thank you for helping us grow the SCP community. Now, without further ado, my favorite SCPs in no particular order are SCP-3999, SCP-3043, SCP-008-J, SCP-Spooky-J, SCP-5031, SCP-5175, SCP-5320, and SCP-8980. Content warning about that last one, it is a rough read. Speed round. 3999-3043-008-J, Spooky-J, 5031, 5175, 5320, 8980. Content warning about that last one, it's a rough read. Site 42 staff, I have been Dr. Theron Sherman, and this has been the continuing of our daily streams, a 6-month streak and counting of Dr. Sherman's Office Hours, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site 42. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. Be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect. I'll see you in the next video and or stream. Weird science, plastic tubes and pots and pans, bits and pieces, and the magic from the hand. We're making weird science, things I've never seen before, behind bolted doors, talent and imagination, weird science. Not what teachers said to do, making dreams come true, living tissue, warm flesh, weird science. Plastic tubes and pots and pans, bits and pieces, and my creation. Is it real? It's my creation. Ooh, my creation. It's my creation. The credit song is Weird Science by Oingo Boingo. Keep yourself safe, Site 42 fam. Secure, contain, protect. What? What are you saying? What?